Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where I talk about books from Book of the Month Club and beyond. I'm your host, I'm Renee. Today I have for you a book review of one of the banned books that I'm reading or have read as part of the uh, Banned Book Project, hashtag 24BB. And that book is Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Uh, this book is a Nobel Prize winner and is very frequently on the list of banned and challenged books. It was in the American Library Association's top 100 banned books in the decade 2000 to 2009, and then again from 2010 to 2019. And in 2022, it also made the top 13. So let's talk a little bit about why. I'm going to link an article from the cheat sheet, and this article is from 2019. It was written shortly after Ms. Morrison passed, and this is Toni Morrison. This is what she looks like. And some of the reasons for the ban include accusations of sexually explicit material and lots of graphic description and lots of disturbing language. That's a quote from the article, and that's the way they have it. They have it in quotes too. It's been attempted, sometimes successfully, to be banned in several cities and states, with the first legal case occurring in Maryland, when a mother legally challenged the book in court for being lewd. It went on to be successfully banned in Baker City, Oregon, in March of 1999 for the book being sexually explicit. And then other cases were brought to the forefront over the years in New Hampshire, Colorado, Michigan, and Morrison's home state of Ohio, California, Indiana, and North Carolina. It's important to note that most of the cases to ban the book were in towns that were populated by a white majority. I think it's important here to say that some of this book banning is local. It starts at a local level. It can even start in a library. When I lived in Florida, there was a case where it was approximately, probably close to 20 years ago now, but in one of the libraries in the Tampa area, they had set up a display of books by gay and lesbian authors for Pride Month. And that was challenged and brought to the city council, and that display was taken down. So it can be at the very, very local level. I think it's important to say that and to kind of get a feel for that. So, what do I think after reading the book? Well, let's talk about the book a little bit. There are indeed descriptions of sexual abuse, pedophilia, and there is some slang language in the book, as there are in many books. Why? Well, because those things are all part of the human experience. To say that these things are what the book is about is to not have read the book or maybe not understand the story itself. So let's talk about that story. It was written in 1970. It is about the early 40s. The setting is a small town in Ohio, in an impoverished African American community. That's where it takes place. The main character is Piccola, who's about 11 or 12 years old. Piccola has darker skin, and she's regarded as ugly by other members of the community. This affects her self esteem, of course, and her perception of herself. Uh, Piccola is a very unfortunate character in many ways. She suffers many humiliations over the course of the year in which the novel takes place. Uh, at one point, she is given shelter from the storm that is her family. She does live in a home where there is alcoholism and violence on a regular basis. And she is given shelter in the home of the McTeers. That's another family, African American family in the area. The McTeers have two daughters, Frida, who is 10, and then a younger daughter named Claudia. And parts of the story are narrated by Claudia. Uh, while at the McTeers, Piccola experiences her first onset of menses, and this begins a year of incredible hardships for her. Piccola has little sense of self, no confidence at all, and no idea how to attain the love that she desperately needs. The three little girls become friends, but in their impoverished community, uh, it's just a breeding ground for hostility, resentment, envy, and it doesn't take much for alliances to shift. Although the girls do stay pretty friendly with her for the novel and throughout the entire course of the book. Um, the situation basically is in comparisons that we make to each other. Just again, probably a natural part of being human. Uh, it's easy to see the flaws in others when you don't value yourself. And the lack of self esteem in this community is generational. We do get a little bit of insight into the parents, particularly those of Piccola, and what they've been through and what their feelings are. It also infests both females and males in the story. This is all, again, in the 40s, so it's at a time when the movies are coming out as a new form of entertainment. And in them, everyone wears beautiful clothes, they speak kindly, and they seem to have something physical that these girls can't have, and that's blonde hair and blue eyes. And in Piccola's mind, having blue eyes would go a long way towards elevating her into a world of love and admiration. So, how far will Piccola go in order to get those blue eyes? The book has some difficult scenes, and there is abuse, as I said, physical, verbal, and sexual, including pedophilia. There is not a lot of hope for these characters, unfortunately. Yet somehow, there's a sense in the book of coming into one's own power. The power is really in telling the story and in being acknowledged, expressing your feelings, talking about your experiences, and having someone else say, hey, me too. The power is in living through difficult experiences and getting past them. No one should have the right to silence anyone else's voice. The article that I'll link for you also contains a YouTube segment where Toni Morrison is interviewed about the book and several other of her works. So I think The Bluest Eye is poignant and relevant and beautifully written, and even today has a lot to say to us. I think it's mostly a women's story, but I'm sure there are men who have read it and have strong feelings about it as well. Again, there are male characters, obviously, in the book, and we do get an insight into how things have gone for them as well. Teens and preteens should absolutely be given access to this book, black and white. I think they would identify with it and definitely have feelings about it that should be discussed. And you don't know what's happened to them and maybe what kind of voice they need to have and what kind of power they need to feel. So I'm really enjoying my banned book experience. Hashtag 24BB. This was my 4th banned book for this year. So I only have 20 to go. But I'm learning a lot, and I'm picking up on so many classics that I missed over the years, which that leads me to a question. Why does it always seem to be the classics that get banned? Is it because they have the ability to empower people in great numbers? And due to their reach and scope, they are big, powerful books. I think I'll keep that in mind as I continue on the project throughout 2024. So if you like my content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and remember that you are the author of your own story. You write it every day, whether it's on paper or not. Don't let anyone take your voice. Thanks for watching.